Good morning, Brokey Betters Club. It's your boy Luis Fernandez and Nico Caceres coming to you with Sunday's NFL lines. Shout out to our sponsors, Better code not broke. Go ahead and use it. You deposit $10, you get a free $10, and they match you up to 200 bucks. So let's jump right into this. What's up, Nico?
Well, man, interesting week in the NFL. Big spreads, low totals, high totals. Nothing really too eye popping for like very eye popping, not for betters, I would say, unless you disagree.
Nah, I completely agree. I know there's a lot of people sitting out, resting for playoffs. Some teams don't even have incentives to play, but yet on the other hand, there's player prop incentives. Guys trying to make an extra little 250,000, 500,000, some up to $1 million if
R-
they hit their goals.
Rico Dowell killed me yesterday, man. That's the only prop I took yesterday, him to score. Yeah, I'm like, damn, $1 million on a guy with not that big of a contract. That's huge. And
Yeah,
nope, only I hit the wrong prop, and he didn't even get that many yards yesterday. He just needed 8 yards, but that game was a mess.
yeah. He was one of them for sure for this week. There's a few other guys. We'll talk about them. But let's talk about yesterday's game. We had two games on the slate. We had the Bucks versus the Panthers. Start with that one. The Bucks, they won. They did what they needed to do, even though they didn't cover. But now both those teams are looking to see what happens in today's 1 o'clock game between the Saints and who do they play? The
The
Saints and the
Falcons.
Falcons. Um, so what are your thoughts on that?
The situation or the game yesterday?
Well, both of them are waiting to see what do you think happens with today's game
Right.
between the Falcons and the
In
Saints.
reference to yesterday's game, it was an ugly game. I mean, weather was awful, awful. There was a combined 29 points scored. So obviously it's not not that what we didn't expect because of the weather, but also the fact that, man, it's just like it looked ugly. Like that's what my biggest takeaway was. I guess the weather played a big part in that. Defenses played really well, obviously, and it looked like Carolina to me lost that game like that. And I think Dave Canales is a very good coach. He's had a good turnaround for that Panthers program, franchise, I should say. They're about to win the division after being a laughing stock.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, you can't call a flea flicker inside their 20-yard line when you have something going on offense. I think that's inexcusable per se. But hey, Bryce Young had a good game. I think his completion percentage was in the 70s last night, and or 68% last night. 200 and something yards and 2 touchdowns. I thought he played well. Baker's Baker. Baker's going to make plays, and I think that either of these teams make it in, they're a first round exit to the 5 seed.
yeah, I agree.
I think they cover because I think everyone's going to jump on the other side on teasers, money line, that stuff. So I'm going to like the 4 seed to cover, but I don't think the 4 seed will win.
Yeah, I completely agree that. So the spread on today's game is the Atlanta Falcons minus 3.5.
But it
It opened
ticked.
up.
It went from 3 to 3.5.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people wanted to buy at three. It's a perfect number to take the line because it's a field goal game. At three
Right.
and a half, and you have to buy half a point to get it back to 3.5.
Yep.
The total is over under 43.5. Um, I see a lot of the money. A lot of the money is on the New Orleans Saints. That would get the Bucks in, while on the other hand, the Falcons winning would get the Panthers in.
Yeah.
Um, my opinion, I think the Panthers deserve it more. Like you said, though, either of these two teams get in, they're going to be bounced by the fifth seed, even if they're the home. If they're they'll be home dogs, but
Yep.
both of those teams will get bounced regardless. In this game, I I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give you guys a pick for sure. Atlanta Falcons minus 3 is gonna be the play. Um, I looked into it. They have nobody sitting out, so Kyle Pitts is in, Drake London's in.
I
Um,
thought Kyle Pitts was hurt.
he's hurt. He's questionable, but it says it's all signs are pointing for him to play,
Okay.
which I like that. So with that being said, give me the Falcons minus 3. I think they pull out the win for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's gonna be my play. Falcons -3 at home. I think they have to end on a high note. Like I think that's a big thing for these guys because the often um, stigma behind them is that they're a quarterback away. But
Yes.
I really do think so too because dude, that defense they hit on the draft, they hit on Jalen Walker. James Pierce has provided good. What is that? Has provided
Oh, that was the ad.
oh has provided good. Has provided good production also being another first round pick. That offense, Bijan's arguably the best offensive player in the NFL. He's I forgot how many yards away from Chris Johnson's record. I think right now he's third all time in a single season for scrimmage yards. Kyle Pitts has had a resurgence. Drake London's an animal. I think they're really a quarterback away, man. Like if they
Yeah.
can figure it out, that would be a really good help for them.
Yeah, and I was actually looking because another thing I was looking at this week was if any losses benefit teams for draft picks or anything like that.
Right.
This one doesn't. They're in the they're in the middle regardless. And with this win, they tie. It's a three-way tie in the NFC South. For first. Just the only reason that the Carolina Panthers get in is because of the tiebreakers over both these other teams. So I
Right.
think they rather have that on their agenda that they tied it for first their division than
With a
lose.
down year, quote unquote. I mean, dude,
Exactly.
this other thing, I think Saints defense is pretty bad. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
that's the best defense in the world. And I think that if Bijan goes crazy, he could break Chris Johnson's record. So I think they're playing for that also.
I can see it too. All right, so let's go to the next game. The next game on the slate is going to be the Broncos. I'm sorry, the Browns versus the Bengals. We have the Bengals are 7.5 point favorite with a total being 46.5.
Jesus, that's high for a Browns game.
Yeah. So the only thing I think the Browns are playing for in this game is Myles Garrett's sack record. He needs half a sack to tie the record, a full sack to take the lead in the record or have a new record in the sacks.
Hmm.
Um, with the Bengals playing the way they play and their line sucks, I think Myles Garrett gets it. I know the line is over 1.5 sacks. I do think he stays under that. I think he only gets one sack today, but I do think he breaks that record.
Yeah.
And this,
I was gonna bring up something. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I saw a report that because I know the Bengals ownership is very 50-50 on Zach Taylor, but there's been reports coming out saying uh, oh shit. Like Joe Burrow and these guys are like going to bat for Zach Taylor. Like they love Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. So what's your thoughts on that, real quick?
um, I completely agree. I think they're gonna perform regardless. I know there's been like talks about Joe Burrow not playing this last game, but I think they want to end it on a high note. I think they want this win just to show that when Joe Burrow's playing, it's they're a competitive team, which we all know it, but
No,
they
no. When
can,
he's playing, they're a top five team in the AFC just on their offense alone. They could score with
yeah,
anybody.
but their defense is what needs to be worked on. But I think them backing him shows like they believe in him, they have faith in him. He just needs to do something on that defensive side. I don't know how long you can back a guy without him making changes on something that we've known for a long time and nothing's changed. So I feel like this offseason they're going to go heavy into the defensive side, especially in the draft and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, actually, I'm rooting for Bane to end up in Cincinnati.
I'm
I was
hoping for
looking,
him to end up in Kansas City.
I was looking at where his potential draft spots are and where the teams are, and they have him projected to go to Cincinnati. That'll be huge. Um, but yeah, I think they're all behind Zach Taylor, and I think it's gonna show today as well. Even a game that doesn't matter, it's gonna show more. Because if you show out for a game that doesn't do anything for you guys, you're really showing that you're behind this guy.
So you said 46 and a half?
Yep.
I want to say the over, but do you trust the Browns to score 21 points?
I don't. Um, and this one, I would lean Bengals -7. I don't have a pick just because it's a divisional game. I don't know who's gonna show up today. And that 47, it's all gonna depend on Shador Sanders.
Yeah, and I don't know if I could trust that.
So we actually spoke about this. We spoke about Shador earning his spot as a starter, and boy, I spoke too soon. The guy started off great and had two shitty ass games, like really bad games. Then I was looking over what Dylan Gabriel did over a 5 game spread compared to Shador Sanders over a 5 game spread. They're almost identical. So is Shador really the better quarterback? I don't think so. If you thought Gabriel was a shitty quarterback, you can't think Shador is a better quarterback. Him giving you the same production. So that's my take on it.
Okay. I don't know. I might stay off this game. Well, I probably will.
Yeah, yeah, I'll stay off this game. I don't like the line. It's a divisional game, so it might be closer than that 7. And either Shador's gonna put up points and keep up with the Bengals, or the Bengals are just gonna blow this team out, and Browns are just gonna, like I
Yeah.
said, for Miles Garrett.
31-3, 31-7. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think if he gets his sack, Miles Garrett gets his sack, and they're getting crushed, he's out. He's
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm
for
done.
sure.
I got the record. I'm done. So I could also see that happening as well early on. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Packers and the Vikings. So this line is Minnesota minus 10.5. Total is 37.5 over under. I know this game sounds crazy because Minnesota's favored by 10, but Packers are all resting. Jordan Love's
Right.
not
They have
playing.
nothing to play for.
Yeah, you have nothing to play for. So the Vikings being minus 10.5 is crazy, but I'm gonna take it. Minnesota Vikings minus 10. The other thing I want to bet on in this game is going to be Justin Jefferson over 53 yards. He needed to get to his um, 1,000 yard milestone. So I think they're going to go ahead and help him out there with the 53 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and parlay both those together. Give me Vikings minus 10. Give me Justin Jefferson over 53 receiving yards.
I don't have a play right now, but if I had to lean, it would be over 36.5 by the full point. Um, over. Yeah, I think everyone's gonna just take your logic. Hey, look, the under is low, which usually would tell you to go low. But at the same time, Minneapolis is in the dome. JJ McCarthy's playing. They got it on a high note. They're going to try to score Kevin O'Connell. And I think Malik Willis, as crazy as it sounds, is good enough to get you 10 points in a 28-10 ball game for the Vikings. I'm not going to take the spread just because I think this is one of those that laying a lot and you're susceptible to backdoor, especially if let's say it is a 20-10 ball game and they score late, go for two, some craziness, whatever, 26-10, 27-10, too much could go on. I'm just going to play over 36.5 here.
I like it. I like it. I do like a lot of overs today, just because a lot of people are thinking, hey, there's a lot of backups playing.
Mm-hmm.
Backups are not going to put up points. At the end of the day, these guys are pros and they can score.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
And they're
like,
and in this game, there's two very good offensive coordinators, well, head coaches who call plays, I should say.
so I like that a lot. All right, let's go on to the Cowboys and the Giants. So the Cowboys and the Giants are playing in New York. Dallas is favored by 3. This is one of the higher totals of the day, with it being at 49.5. Who do you like?
I probably won't have a play in this game to be honest with you, just because I think it's an irrelevant game for everything. The Giants are only 3.5 point dogs, but if they lose this game, they have a better draft position. So that makes me think I would lean Cowboys, but I'm not gonna have a play in this game to be honest with you.
I completely agree. So this is one of those teams that I looked at that, like you said, Giants lose, they get a better draft spot, they get a better
They get
bro-
Arvell Reese or Fatu. They're playing for either the DN or the offensive tackle.
yeah. So I do like the Cowboys in this spot. But with that being said, my favorite line of this game is gonna be the over 49. I think both teams are gonna put up points. And then also in this game, give me George Pickens over 69 yards. He's close to getting to that 1,500 yard milestone, and that's huge for George Pickens. CeeDee Lamb doesn't have much to play for today, and everybody else on that team is, so Javonte Williams is not playing, so Blue is the running back. So I think they're going to go ahead and feed Pickens so he can get to that mile marker of 1,500 receiving yards. So give me over 49.5 and give me over 79 receiving yards from George Pickens.
All right.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game. So the next game is going to be Titans versus Jaguars. This game does matter for the Jaguars. They're fighting for that 1, 2, 3 seed. Um, if the Broncos win out, they get the second seed, right?
Right.
Wait, I'm sorry. They're actually fighting for the third seed, but they could jump all the way up to the
To
first
one.
seed, to
Correct.
1. So they need Broncos and the Patriots to lose. They win, they could get that first seed.
Now, if you
Broncos,
get real crazy and the Jags lose and the Texans win, Texans jump.
correct, and they could be the Jaguars could end up as a 6 seed. So
Correct.
they're one of I think they're the only team that has such a crazy variable today.
Right.
With them winning or losing. With that being said,
Wait, is
the
Jags minus 10? I thought it was Jags minus
no, it's
13.
minus 13.5
Right.
with the over under being 47.5.
Yep.
This one the Jags are gonna blow out the Titans. They need this win. They don't want to see themselves in a bad spot away. I just won't touch this line with the 14 points because it could be closer than that. Cam Ward likes to keep it close. He doesn't like to get blown out like this. I'm embarrassed. So in this one, actually, my only play is gonna be a prop play,
Okay.
and that's gonna be with Tony Pollard
The
over
score.
six
Right?
over
That's
66
everybody.
rushing yards. That's a little incentive boost for him. Titan season's over with. I think they get this guy a little extra bag on the last game. And Jaguars definitely win. I just don't think it's by 14.
Yeah, if I had to lean anywhere here, it'd be anywhere with the Titans. So 14, give me 14 and a half. I feel like it's a good line, especially with the over-under being so high. Not high, but high for this week. And I like the over here. It's 44 and a half. Debating, I don't know the weather. I haven't checked it yet in Jacksonville, but I know it was raining yesterday in Tampa. If you can get 43 and a half, I really like this line because now you're winning at 35-10 or 35 with 14, you win at 35-20, that type of stuff. So I really like the over in this spot if I
Yeah,
play on this.
weather looks great. Weather is 58 degrees, partly cloudy. No shot of rain. So
Good day to throw the ball.
yeah,
Good day to
I,
throw the ball.
yeah. I actually agree with you. Actually, go ahead and give me Jaguars Titans over 47.
Yep. Oh, it's 47. I thought you said 45. I still like it. I don't care.
No, it has moved up to 47. So go ahead and give me Jaguars Titans over 47, and Tony Pollard over 66 rushing yards. All right. So the next game on the slate, this one's going to be the Colts and Texans, who we just talked about. Texans can jump up into this spot if they win and Jaguars lose. The line for the Texans is 10.5, and the over under is 38.5. We know the Colts have been eliminated officially, and Philip Rivers is not a quarterback, so he's going to be sitting out. So Texans, pretty much the only ones that are playing for something. They're playing for seeding as well in the wild card. And I think right now everybody wants that fifth seed, knowing that they're going to have to play a shitty fourth seed. You don't want to be that 6 or 7 seed and play one of these top teams. So
I think
on this,
this is a blowout.
do you think this one's a blowout?
I think that Texans team's so hot right now. And I think the fact that that defense is going to just be like, you're going to be able to play, just stack the box, take out Jonathan Taylor from the game, Ryan Leonard's playing quarterback, and just let these guys man. I think this is a belt. Like, this is like a 28 point blowout to me.
Yeah, but can the Colts score? So line's 38.5. Um, it could be a blowout. I really like the under. I could see it being
That's fine.
one-sided.
No, I'm gonna play Texans. That's I have this as a play for me. Texans minus 10 or nine and a
Okay,
half, whatever it is.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Do you know if Nico Collins is playing? I know he's. Let me check
I
real
heard
quick.
he was leaning yes.
Bum bum. Okay, so Nico Collins is gonna be declared inactive.
Oof. And it
So
hasn't moved the line either. Yeah, give me the
no,
Texans.
nope. So expect a busy day for Xavier Hudson and Jalen Noel. Um, yeah, line hasn't moved. I like Texans, especially with Nico Collins being out and nothing affecting the line. It's gonna be, like you said, belt to ass early, so I like it. All right, next game is gonna be Bills versus Jets. Um, this is gonna be in Buffalo. We have Buffalo Bills. This line's worrisome. It's -7.5,
I would
and
not play this. I know exactly what's going on in this game.
the total is 37.5. With that being said, the Jets have a bunch of dudes that are out and they're not playing for anything. Yet this line to one of the better teams in the division is a 7 point favorite. Um, yeah, give me the Jets plus 7.5. I'm not gonna get reeled into this one.
Okay, so I had a third party tell me that last year the Bills did the same thing. So the line's gone down. It opened 12 and a half. It's not 7.5. So what happens is Josh Allen has the longest streak in the NFL for activity from a player, like consecutive games started. So I have a feeling Josh Allen will start the game, play the first play, and they'll yank him. That's why I think the over on the spread's so low.
So I was actually looking at it and I was reading some things that the Bills don't really need to play this game.
Correct.
Yeah.
They don't care because if everyone wins, they're done. Like the Bills are gonna probably get the 6 or 7, depending on
Yeah.
what happens. And I think the Bills, honestly, going to Jacksonville, that's probably the most likely outcome. They end 6, they play 3. I think if you're a Bills fan, you're happy about that. You get
I
Josh
also
Allen. You get
I
Josh
also
Allen
think
in warmer weather with T Law, who's a notorious choker. I think that's a great predicament for the Bills.
I actually don't hate them being the 7th seed either.
Going to New England,
Going to New England, that's a divisional game. That's way tighter than what people think. Like I know some people are like, "Oh, Patriots are one of the hottest teams." I understand that, but this is a divisional game at that point, which who knows team is best is these teams.
yeah.
Like
No,
you're
no,
the
I agree
Bills,
with you.
you're the Patriots. You already played them twice. You kind of know everything that's in their like repertoire, like everything that they
And you're
have in their.
split. You're 1-1. There's no like side to pick on. I think I agree with you. I think Buffalo's good either way, but I think Buffalo is not hunting. I hate using that word, but I think everyone knows Texans are going to win. They're going to jump up to 5. Chargers are resting Herbert. They're going to slide to 7. So I think Buffalo's looking at this like, hey, we're going to go to Jacksonville to play a notorious choker in Trevor Lawrence, or we haven't figured out. We're going to get Josh Allen off a week's rest and we're gonna be able to throw the ball in sunny Jacksonville in the middle of January. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so what if? All right, let's go ahead and do this then. So I like the Jets plus 7.5, and all of Josh Allen's player props under.
But what are they? Are you sure they're not high? Like they're not low?
Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Because technically they have to have all his player props since he's the starter, correct?
Correct. So let's look at this real quick. Pull this up. Player props, passing. No, they don't.
Is that legal?
They don't. I guess they can do. They can do whatever they want, but they don't have any player props for Josh Allen. Not rushing, not passing. They've actually taken out everything, including their receivers' player props. Something is fishy.
I told you.
They haven't given this guy not one line. So there's
Josh.
no player props for receiving. There's no player props for anybody on the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it's what they're doing. It's the
They're
Josh Allen's
tanking.
gonna play the first play and they're yanking him.
Okay, so this is the lock of the year. We're gonna go ahead and take Jets plus 7.5. The Bills are pulling a little Houdini trick. They're gonna give him the start so he keeps his streak going and he's done. The Bills don't want to play this game.
This is the play of the year.
play of the year. Give me Jets plus 7.5.
Oh my God. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna touch this game. I probably will after we're done here, and you tell me, guy, you have to play Jets plus 7.5, and then you'll convince me to
You
play
have
7.5.
okay, so wait. There's only one before going through this whole thing. There's only one player prop that I think they need to hit, and it's for my boy Shakir. He needs that touchdown. He needs that last receiving touchdown. He's one away. He's been going after it for I think 2 or 3 weeks now, and they haven't given it to him. I think they need to give it to him today.
Who's the back?
But
Do you know who the backup is?
no, who cares? Anybody could throw it to him. Just throw it to that guy. They just have to get down there, but
Is that
the,
is that active still? Like you're saying, there's no player props on the Rock.
so there's no player props on the Rock, right? But he still needs that touchdown. So just because on our books, I would have to check. Actually, let me go ahead and check better because we checked on Hard Rock. Let's go ahead and check better. Just because one book doesn't have it doesn't mean the others don't. Passing yards. Let's see. They don't have either. That's so crazy. Buffalo Bills. Come on, what are we doing here? No. Josh Allen. I think all no, not even better has so nobody has player props for the Bills. Yo, this is a scam.
It's such a scam.
Okay, receiving touchdowns, rushing or receiving touchdowns. Shakir either. Jeez. They don't want us to win. All right, so they don't have anything for Buffalo Bills. So Buffalo Bills are tanking this game. Yeah. So if you find a line with Shakir anytime touchdown, take it. He
Or
needs it for
anything Josh Allen.
or
No.
anything Josh Allen. So they're obviously not playing this game. So yeah, that's the lock of the year. Give me Jets plus 7.5. Over with. All right, we'll move on to the next game. Lions and Bears. This is going to be in Chicago. Lions have nothing to
Wait, I
play.
think Broncos Chargers is at 4? I thought that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I have
Okay.
that game next. Yeah. All right, so we have the Lions at Chicago Bears. The line is Chicago minus 3.5. Total is 50.5. This is going to be one of those top over-unders. Lions have nothing to play for because they've been eliminated. I
Yeah, but
think
this
it's
is one of those weird scenarios where Dan Campbell wants to play spoiler.
yep.
For sure. That this has it all written over, like all written over it. Um, I would, I want to give Lions plus 3.5, but this is my only debate. What's the weather in Chicago right now? Is it still pouring snow?
Actually, it just shows cloudy, 30 degrees, so it might not be snowing.
If that holds up, I love the over.
I agree too. My play is gonna be I'm all over the Lions plus
Yeah.
3 and Lions money line. This is one of those Dan Campbell spots that he's just gonna win just to win. This also puts the team over 500 for the season. I know for some, like it's like, oh, you're out of playoffs. Why do that? But for Dan Campbell, it's one of those pride things. He wants to
And
be
they're
over.
playing Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson's another psychopath here. This is an awful spot to actually play aside. I'm
Um,
gonna play over 50.5.
okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with Lions plus 3.5 and Lions money line.
Yeah.
Lock that in for me. All right, so we have two. Oh, we actually have a ton for. There's a
There's
lot of
6. I think there's 6 because remember there's no bye weeks and we didn't have a Thursday night game because of playoffs, because of college football playoffs. So everything is Saturday, Sunday this week.
All right, so the next game on the slate is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are favored 14, and
Belt.
total is over under 37.5. In this game, Chargers are resting all their guys. They're going
Straight
into
belt.
that
Straight belt. We don't have to talk about
no,
this game. This is going to
Chargers
be
are
this is a blowout.
but the Chargers are going for that 7th seed to face the Patriots. I just don't get it. Doesn't make any sense for me.
Herbert's
They're
banged
literally
up.
out.
This is massacre. Broncos need the 1 seed. Play as hard as you can this week, and then next week, just
Bye.
chill. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of games that are 14-point spreads, and there's gonna be a lot of upsets. I just don't, not upsets entirely like money line, but covering the spread. There's gonna be teams that are definitely gonna be covering the spread, as well as these over unders. I see them all around 36, 37 because there's backup playing, and people are thinking this is gonna be all unders. Especially yesterday, we had two really hideous games. So I think expect a lot of
Vegas
overs.
cleaned up yesterday, by the way. Vegas
Yeah,
had a good day yesterday.
they did. They definitely did. And this one, I
In
don't have a.
NFL and college basketball, the public killed it yesterday.
And this one, I don't have a line. I don't like that 14 at all. I don't like that 14 from the Broncos. I don't like the 37 and a half. So I'm gonna go ahead and stay away from this game.
As of right now, I'm gonna play Broncos minus 14. But if I see that this line goes to 15 with all the money on it, I'll get off of it.
Actually, you know what? In this game, just to have action on it, I'm gonna go ahead and take Trey Lance over rushing yards. It's at
Or
28.
anytime Teddy.
Yeah, I think he definitely. I don't think anytime Tony just because the total's so low. But go ahead and give me Trey Lance over rushing yards, 28 and a half. I think he takes off scrambling a bunch in this game.
Yeah, he's gonna be running for his life.
So that's what I'll take in this game. All right, we move on to Nico's favorite team, Kansas City Chiefs. Gonna be at the Raiders. Chiefs are favored minus 4.5. Total again is gonna be 36 and a half. Same line as a bunch of these games.
This is a weird one just because they're both playing for draft position. So like this like Raiders lose are the 1 pick. They're control themselves, control their destiny, blah blah blah. Chiefs lose, now you're in prime position for a Francis Magoa, a Ruben Bain. If we draft Jeremiah Love, I'll lose my mind. A David Bailey from Texas Tech. You lose enough, and Arvo Reese slides to you by everything good and holy in this world. So I will have no play on this game.
Can the Raiders win out of their number 1 draft spot?
They lost to the Giants.
They lost the Giants, but I know you have the Cardinals in that mix, and you have the Titans in that mix, correct? They're both 3 and.
I want to say the Raiders have the tiebreaker over the Giants.
Okay.
I want to say that they played the Cardinals earlier in the year.
Let's go ahead and check it out real quick. So Cardinals. The Cardinals hold the tiebreaker over the Titans because they
Correct.
lost in 21. But I don't see them against the Raiders. So they haven't played the Raiders. So I don't know what the tiebreaker
What
would be.
are records? What are their records?
Their records would be identical. They would have 3 losses.
No,
That'd
3
be
wins. You mean?
I mean 3 wins. They would have
That's
3
if
wins.
the Cardinals lose and the Raiders win.
Correct.
So the Raiders have 2 wins right now.
Yep. They need to lose. Like they need to lose. They can't win this game and fuck up that number 1 spot.
I'm not gonna touch this game, bro.
I just don't.
And the
Would
line's
you
weird. Yeah,
would you
no.
risk that?
This is an awful situation to take anything.
Yeah, like can the Giants so they beat the Titans, the Giants, I don't know what the tiebreaker is between the Giants, the Jets. Actually, no, we have the Jets covering 7. They might even win today, so the Jets might not even care. But the Giants, oh man. All right, so this is how I'm gonna play this game because we have the Giants at 1 o'clock. Then we have the Jets at 4 o'clock. Raiders plus 4.5. Give me Raiders plus 4.5. I think they keep it close. I might switch up on it afterwards, but I'll take Raiders plus 4.5.
I don't
So
know.
I just don't think they win this game. If they win this game, like how stupid can you be to ruin the #1 spot?
There's a little part of me that right now Andy Reid is so psychotic that he's not throwing this game, but he's like, "Yo, guys, like let's relax," type of thing. And
And that
Matt Nagy's last game as a Kansas City Chief. Thank God. Um, I don't know. I think both these teams want to lose. As crazy as it sounds.
yeah, I agree. It's just you might see a lot of turnovers. They're gonna be giving up the ball to each other. Say, hey, you take it. No, you take it.
35.5's a low over under too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to.
Nah,
I'm gonna
this
stay
is
away.
an awful game.
Yeah, it's an awful game. I'm gonna stay away from it. Raiders need this loss though. I think more than anybody, they need that #1 pick.
Right.
So, all right, let's move on to another game that's relatively important. Um, Cardinals and Rams. So Rams are a 14-point favorite. Over under is 47.5. Rams are full go. They're sending it. Everyone's playing. They're playing to win today.
Yeah, and I
So,
think Stafford's playing for the MVP.
oh, I do like that. He is definitely in the running. I think it's between him
Drake May.
and Drake May. A lot of people are saying Bo Nix and what they've done in that #1 seed, but Bo Nix to me is like more of a clock manager. He's getting wins and his defense is pulling him through. But I think MVP, like valuable player, is between Drake May and the Rams and Stafford.
I agree.
So
I don't know. I like the over here, to be honest with you. This is gonna be a play for the 4 o'clock games.
okay. Here I'm gonna go ahead and give me the Cardinals plus 14.5. They haven't covered in 4 games. They've lost freaking just about any game they've played. But I think they cover here. I think it could be a high scoring game, but give me the Cardinals to cover and a 10-point spread. All right, so we have 2 more 4 o'clock games. That's gonna be next one's Dolphins at Patriots. Um, Patriots are 13.5-point favorites. Over unders 45.5. Huge divisional game in Foxborough. Patriots are looking to sweep the Dolphins, which they haven't done in God knows how long. Give me Dolphins plus 14. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I
But
like the. This is
I
another
think
spot I like the over.
I like the over. So like we just talked about, Drake May's playing for that MVP.
Yep.
So he's gonna put up points, but I think the Dolphins, I really like what Ewers is doing. To me, Ewers look better than Tua.
Way better.
That's my opinion.
Way better.
Freaking A, that guy's slinging it, and I think he's proving um to like try to earn that spot.
Yep.
So he's trying to be the starter for next year, and I think he's not gonna let this game go easy. So I like Dolphins plus 14. I like over 45. Like we said, Drake May's gonna put up points. Ewers is fighting for his starting role next year. So I like both of those totals.
Yep.
The other one, let me see real quick if I have anything on.
I
All
think the
right, no.
last game's Eagles Commander, and it's low.
Yeah. So for the Eagles Commanders game, Commanders are going to Philadelphia. The spread is Eagles minus 4.5, over under 38.5. Eagles are resting, so you're not going to see Hurts. You're not going to see a bunch of the top guys. Um, but one of the things I do like in this game is Von Miller over half a sack. He needs it for a huge player incentive with the backup quarterback being in. I think he could definitely get that. Um, and this is one of those games, divisional game, and it's 4.5. Go ahead and give me Commanders plus 4.5. Give me Commanders money line. I think they win this game. Eagles don't really care.
Yeah, I probably won't have a play here, to be honest with you. Just because, again, that totals drop, that spread's dropping, like we've been talking about, and when backups are playing, I'm not. And let me preference this: there are games where I think backups are playing where I think it's obvious where you could side, but when you have backups on backups like this, where it's quarterbacks, I think anything could happen here. This could be a tie ball game throughout the whole game. like low, like 10-10, 17-17, 13-13, etc. like that. And last second, before the 2 minute warning, you got a tutty and you're done. Like you're
Yeah.
cooked. So I mean, this is tough to gauge for me personally, especially with it being divisional, like you said. So I'm gonna stay off of it.
The only thing I will say is this is gonna be a note, an education. This is an educational show, right? So if I see two backups going in and it start low, I'm gonna be slamming overs on most of these games. That being said, the public's gonna be thinking to the idea of, hey, backups can't do anything. They're not gonna put up points, especially when starters sometimes go under. They're gonna stay away from it. So I think overs play a big factor today. And actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on our stories on Instagram, live overs. We're gonna go ahead and take 4 or 5 of them. All these backup quarterbacks, they're gonna put up points today.
Yep.
They don't have a chance to play ever, and you think they're gonna like sit back on their one day that they get to play?
Yep.
I'd like them to put up points. We're gonna fade the public on that. So on our Instagram, we're gonna go ahead and post live over unders today. We normally don't do that, but I think it's a great opportunity and we're gonna have great value. All right, so for our last game of the night, this is the biggest game of the night, I think.
Thank God.
This is the biggest game of the day, actually, to
Yeah.
me. The most like playoff implication, head-to-head matchup gets you in or gets you out, or you're out. You go home. We have the Ravens at Steelers. The line is the Ravens minus 3.5.
Open
Total,
3, move to 3.5.
yep, total is going to be over 40.5, over under 40.5. Baltimore has a shot to get in, and they were out for the longest. They started off terrible. Lamar came back, looked horrible. But the Steelers are just as bad. Um, what do you think on this?
Man, I think if that offense looked so pedestrian last week from Pittsburgh that I cannot bet Pittsburgh. The problem is that this is one of the situations that we talked about last week. It's like I know all the money is going to be on Baltimore, right? Like I think that's going to be a pretty obvious public play here, and I
Mhm.
think Pittsburgh covers the 3.5. I think this is a 3-point game. What scares me is how pedestrian will this Steelers offense look like again? They scored 6 points last week. And you're like, you win last week, this game is irrelevant. You're in.
Yeah.
So it's like in a make it or break it scenario, I don't trust Pittsburgh enough. Give me Baltimore minus 3.
Okay. Um, I I think I'm on the same side as you. It's gonna come down to close to the game time. I'll go ahead and put a play on it. Um, I think the Ravens can win this game if the Derrick Henry from last week shows up, right? Where he can blow up, he does whatever he wants on the ground. But if the Ravens can't get the run game going, then these two offenses kind of mirror each other. They're both bad. Lamar's not playing to his potential. I don't know
No.
if he's still hurt, if it's still affecting him, still bothering him. Um, but then you have on the other side Steelers that could have set us up last week with that terrible loss. Hey, look, these guys are they only put up 6 points. They can't they can't win this game. But there's also a huge incentive. Steelers get in. Aaron Rodgers gets a $500,000 bonus check for getting into playoffs.
And he's done. And he rides off into the sunset after the next
Yeah.
game.
He's like, thank you guys for the half mil. See you
I
guys
know.
never.
I don't know. I'm
So
going to play Ravens.
I'm gonna play Ravens. I I think the Steelers set us up last week to take the Ravens, and I think I'm gonna be on the Steelers. I think they could pull this off. Like I said, the Ravens' only shot is if they get Derrick Henry running on the ground and really pounding the Steelers. That's the Ravens' only shot I see right now.
All right.
All right. Like I said, if you haven't DM'd us, DM us for VIP picks.
Yo, we have a last minute question here.
Go ahead.
Is this Travis Kelsey's last year or no?
Yeah, he's done.
I think Travis Kelce, this is Travis Kelce's last year. If he comes back, it's only for mentoring to get a little
Hey,
extra.
hey, Nico, what are the odds on Kalashi right now for
I don't
Travis?
know. I took it. I think this is last year, and I think the only way he comes back is if like they're in a playoff scenario of next year. In the sense that, let's say Mahomes comes back, they're back to their normal self. They're 9-3, and let's say they signed a Kyle Pitts or an Isaiah Likely, and they get hurt, and they have to call Travis Kelce, kind of like a Gronk scenario.
Wait, actually, then I think there's a player prop for Kelce to get 3 receiving catches today. That he breaks the record. He actually breaks a record, and I was like, maybe he doesn't get it today to actually do it with Mahomes. Um, Next season. And with that being said, if he's not coming back, then I think he gets that record and he actually does
Right off into the sunset.
right off. Yeah. Let me look it up real quick because I know it was like big.
While he's looking that up, I mean, it's. I think it's good enough to talk about that. Supposedly, I hear comments saying that Travis Kelsey is like Michael Jordan in Space Jam. Once he got with Taylor Swift, all his powers were gone. You know.
Not chill. He won a Super Bowl that first and had a crazy playoff run that first year they were together when they beat the Niners.
Oh,
All right, so go
last
ahead, go
thing that
ahead.
I wanted to bring up, actually, now that you guys mention it, there is this gentleman, 49ers he was handed cash right before the start of his
Kendrick
game,
Bourne. Yep.
and he just needed nine, I believe, 2 more receptions or something like that,
No, 7 receiving yards.
7 receiving yards, and to what was it for, Nico? To
$250,000.
$250,000, and he ended with only two, or nothing actually, or
Yeah,
something like that.
0.
Zero. He only needed 7 receiving yards to hit a bonus, and he ended with 0 receiving yards. And he was handed a wad of a stack of cash right before entering the game
Yep.
at the on the sidelines by some dude, random dude. We don't know. Do we have a name?
No, random dude.
Yeah, he handed it a fat stack of cash, like here, and the guy's. I'm like, where are you gonna put it, bro? Under your pads or something? I don't know. He was padded and everything.
Yeah, he put it like in his helmet or something. I saw that video. That's crazy. And he got 0.
All
Uh,
right, so I just looked it up. So there's 2 records that Kelsey can get to. The first one is gonna be with 57 receiving yards. He surpasses Jason Witten for second all time among tight ends in career receiving yards.
Okay.
So I think those 57 receiving yards, if he's not coming back, is a must. At least it puts him at number 2 tight end in receiving yards all time.
Yep.
And then the other one is receptions. He's at 1,077 with 2 receptions. He gets into 8th place all time, above Terrell Owens. So I think that's a huge spot as well. So actually, I really like for him to get 57 receiving yards today and those 2 catches. Because if it's his last game, at least he goes down in the record book as
Yep.
second all time. So in this Chiefs game that we hated, that we didn't know about the Raiders and the Chiefs, give me Travis Kelce. We're gonna go ahead and take all his prop plays.
All right.
All right, let's do it. Let's have a good Sunday. Like I said, hit us up for our VIP plays, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.
CFOs.
Later.